This is about qualifying. It's not just about getting into the top 4. In fact, the semi-finals will be ranked. And therefore, the athletes are very much looking for their best position they can into the semi-finals. And then they have to race yet again if they make it into the finals, Final A or Final B. Well, we have our lineup: Haila, BRUNET, Maria ARIAS, Yi-Hsuan, Fran VANHOUTTE, and ZHOU Qing. A glimpse of the brand new looking skates for Haila, BRUNET, but they will be moulded to the feet of the French woman, and it is Fran VANHOUTTE, already 2 medals to her name, who is going out strong in this competition. Now, this is where tactics are involved, and we don't see this very often in the sprint event. We've had the straightforward time trial competition earlier on today. This is a different kettle of fish. Well, we've heard the bell. That is Belgium's VANHOUTTE, still leading with less than a lap to go. 100 meters to that finish line. Remember, it's the top 8 in total. We've got 3 heats of 5. Top 8 through to the semi-finals. Well, comfortably through. We see Maria ARIAS and Fran VANHOUTTE. 44.391. That's winning time. But it's all about the time. So the positions don't necessarily matter in this heat. But you saw that incredibly fast start from Fran VANHOUTTE, and as a result, she managed to control this race from the start. Ecuador's Maria ARIAS having a strong finish, giving her a really strong chance of making it into the semi-finals. So 3 rounds if you're going to be in a chance of winning a medal in this competition. And clarifying the times. Maria ARIAS just behind Fran VANHOUTTE. ZHOU, BRUNET and Liu. We'll just have to wait and see if their times are quick enough. In fact, they all will. It's nothing on positions beating that time. Well, on to heat number 2. And lining up, we have SCHIMEK, Catalina, LORCA, Asja, VARANI, Ivonne, NOCHEZ, and Jasmine Foster. See the height of Foster from the USA, one of the taller athletes in this field. And she'll have to use the power in her long limbs to make sure she gets a quick start here, because it is very much about the start, getting the position that you want. On the inside, we see SCHIMEK. She'll be wanting a good race here. This is one of her priority events on the track. Already with a win of a medal in the 1-lap competition. She took it easy in the following sprints on the road. Is she focusing on this? Well, she's currently sat in 3rd position. Oh, we're being led out at the moment by Ivonne NOCHEZ, who has been the woman on form. She already has 2 golds. Well, she's just allowing Catalina LORCA to come through. And remember, this is against the clock. And a strong performance from the Chilean, taking first place in that heat. So she'll be feeling pretty confident that that will be enough with the caliber of athletes she has behind her. One of the younger, less experienced athletes, the Chilean, she came through on the inside the favourite, just comfortably sliding over the line ahead of 3 very fierce competitors behind her. Well, that potentially could be a surprise, but there is still likely room for at least the top 4 to get through. You see how close it is between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. It was Anna-Laethisia just sliding over the line in 2nd, ahead of NOCHEZ Gallardo. Asja VARANI hoping she will have done enough to make it in. Well, here we have the one and only Maria Fernanda Tinzariza. She is the world champion, reigning world champion in this current event. And also Nelly Fernandez of Venezuela, Dalia Sabaranes, Guatemalan, for the bronze in the 100 meters. Luisa Gonzalez and Lee Yerim make up the 5 in this final heat. The timing chips importantly secured to the front of the skates of both feet of the athletes. And that is what we rely on when we are talking absolute milliseconds, splitting the field in some circumstances. Are we going to see it come down to milliseconds splitting this third and final heat? Well, no surprise, we are seeing control from the front. Maria Tim, such a class racer. She just races so bravely, and she is out on her own, staying out of trouble. The Colombian is making this look so easy, and let me tell you, it is anything but. They are traveling at speeds of over 40 kilometers an hour. And a 44.60, not the quickest time of the day, but she will be confident that that is quick enough. You can see the pressure going through the legs as they negotiate the bends at such speed, and then they've got to push the power down as soon as they're coming out of that corner onto the straight. Maria Timms leaving her competitors in her wake. Leah in 8th place at World Championships in this event. She'll be absolutely targeting a medal at these World Games. Well, there's confirmation as this is the final heat that it is Lee Yerim and Maria Timms. Two of the favourites from that heat will be making it into the final. Nelly Fernandez, Luisa Gonzalez and Dalia Sabaranes outside of the 44-second mark, and that is a bit of a sign for what we might see when we have the final qualifications. But as soon as the race is over, athletes are friends off the track. Well, here are the qualification times, which won't matter once we're into the semi-final, but all importantly, it is the top 8. Catalina, LORCA of Chile, just sneaking in, the only athlete outside of 44 points. She has a 44.007. And that's a considerable distance behind our fastest qualifier, Fran VANHOUTTE of Belgium. Well, the usual suspects are in this competition. The World Championship medalists in Liu and Timms will be lining up again in the semi-final. These athletes missing out of their chance to race again in the 500m+D competition. They'll be watching from the sidelines and waiting for their next event to come. Well, once more, you can just see how close it is between the times. Fran VANHOUTTE, the only athlete to collect 44.3. Maria ARIAS, though, pretty close behind. Remember, they were in different heats, as was Maria Timms. She controlled her heat. She might have been a 44.6, but expect more from the Colombians.